Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Pitch Perfect Live. I am your host and coach, Nicci Willis. Now, you might see a little bit of things that are a little bit different. And for those of you who are following me, especially in the green room, you know that we are now trying StreamYard. So hopefully the quality is better. Hopefully what you are seeing is an amazing view, not just me, but the actual technology is working well, and that this will be a seamless process. So as you are watching, I want those of you who are a part of the green room to give me feedback. Let me know what you think about this platform. All right. If you are watching on YouTube, welcome. And I want to remind you that if you want to comment, you do have to subscribe. That's all I ask. All right. So subscribe to my Nicci Willis channel, and then you will be able to add to the comments, which we love. Also, if you're watching on LinkedIn, welcome. This is my first time on LinkedIn, and I love that for me, and I love that for you too. So it's wonderful for you to be here with me. It's wonderful for me to be here with you, and we are going to get started here in just a second. I want to remind everybody, if you haven't already joined the Green Room, which is a community of entrepreneurs and business leaders who are exactly in that seat where they want to improve their pitch. They want to improve how they're connecting with their audience members. That is where you want to be. I shared just a little bit every week. And then, of course, you will never miss a live. So you definitely want to join the Green Room. That is free. There is a QR code there in the corner. And see, I'm getting fancy. This is exciting. This is exciting. All right, y'all. Anything else? Oh, I always have to give you guys updates. So this weekend, I just handed over my Mrs. Nevada United World Crown. So that was a bittersweet moment. That was a very fast reign. You only get a year with these reigns, but it was incredible. And congratulations to all the new queens of Nevada. But I am still Mrs. United World. So if you want to follow my pageant journey, you can follow me at Mrs. United World. I'm still over there. My reign doesn't end until September. Anyway, I think that's it. Let's get started with Pitch Perfect Live. Now, listen, we have been doing this now. I just saw this. We have been doing this now for 6 months. And so if you want to be in the hot seat, go ahead and go to my website, NicciWillis.com, and apply for Pitch Perfect Live. It's super, super simple. We are here every Tuesday, and I meet with a new business leader. We tweak that pitch so that it lands and your investors and clients lean in, and most importantly, they say yes. All right, so our next guest that we have today, listen, y'all, I am so excited. Her name is Karina Bocker. She is the CEO of UME Health. Karina, I'm going to bring you in now.
Hello.
Hi. Welcome to Pitch Perfect Live.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, how are you feeling today?
Good. A little nervous, not going to lie, but excited.
That's okay. I would say nerves are good because they always show that you care, right? We don't want to come out here all crazy and all the things. It tells us that we care. So we are going to turn those nerves into energy. And what we are going to do next is our open mic. Now, the open mic that is the time where the entrepreneur or business leader gives us the pitch. All right. So Karina, you are going to pitch me like I am whoever your ideal client is. You are going to give me that pitch. All right. I'm not going to interrupt. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to take copious notes. And then we are going to break down that pitch and tweak whatever is needed. Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right. Now we only have 30 minutes. So Karina, once you start your pitch, I will start my 30-minute timer. And let's rock and roll.
Okay. Sounds great.
All right, Karina, you are good to go.
Okay. Well, good evening. I have spent the past decade working in healthcare. But what really shifted things for me was helping my grandmother navigate hospitalizations and her care. And even with my background and experience, I kept finding myself asking, what do we do next? And that's when it really hit me. If it was this difficult for me, how difficult must it be for someone who doesn't understand the system or is dealing with language barriers or limited access to information? And I kept coming back to the same question. What is it that they do? Because what I've seen both professionally and personally is that patients leave appointments with instructions, referrals, medications, but no clear way to turn that into action. And when that happens, people don't follow through. They miss their appointments, they don't take their medications correctly, and those small issues turn into much bigger ones. So this isn't just an individual problem. It is actually leading to poor outcomes, avoidable hospitalizations, and significant costs across the healthcare system. This isn't just inconvenient, it's a real problem at scale. So I stepped back and started thinking how to solve this. And what I've been building is UME Health, an AI-powered healthcare companion that takes complex medical instructions and translates them into simple step-by-step actions for patients. So whether that's scheduling a follow-up, managing medications, or simply understanding what to do next, it guides them through in a way that's actually manageable. And the goal is simple. Instead of patients feeling overwhelmed and falling through the cracks, they have clarity, structure, support. And that ultimately leads to better follow-through and better outcomes. My background is in healthcare operations. I've worked across both health plans and provider organizations where I've seen this problem at scale. And I'm building this alongside my wonderful co-founder, Dr. Snow, who brings the clinical perspective. So we're approaching this from both the system side and the patient side. This matters because when patients don't follow through, it doesn't just affect them. It's driving hospitalizations, increasing costs, and impacting how healthcare organizations are measured and ultimately paid. So solving this isn't just helpful, it's critical. And at its core, it started with a simple idea. What if everyone had someone guiding them through their care? Almost like having a Karina in their pocket, helping them to understand what to do next. I want to make sure that this message is as clear and impactful as the problem itself, so it actually reaches the people who need it the most. So if this resonates, we're actually opening up early access soon, and we're inviting people to join the interest list to be part of the first release. You can find the link in our Instagram bio at UME Health app.
All right. Yeah. All right. Really good.
Oh, thank
That
you.
was a great presentation. Great presentation. But what I will say is that all the components are there.
Okay.
So what you said in your application was that what I need to do is make it clear and concise. So we need to take that presentation and shrink it down so that within 30 to 45 seconds, somebody says, yes, that's what you do. Oh, that's me. That's what I need. How do I find you, right? All right. So the next thing that I want to do is I want to do our pitch report, okay? So this covers 7 categories. What I've done is I've compiled how to break down a pitch, and I've compiled that into 7 categories, all right? So the hero, number 1, who's the hero, which is your target audience. When you were talking, I wasn't sure who you were talking to.
Ooh,
Was it the patient side, or was it the medical side? Were we talking to the doctor, or the medical healthcare system? Who were we actually talking to? Next is the problem. You nailed that. I got it very well.
Yeah.
The problem is that there is a gap between from the time that person is discharged or checks out, and they have this stack of pills and bills and instructions, and they have no idea what to do with it. I thought that
Right.
was fantastic. And so many people can relate to that and can see themselves in that. We just need to make it a little bit shorter, maybe, so that they can see it quicker. Okay. The third one is the solution. So you talked about the UME app. The
Yes.
UME app. Okay. I wanted to make sure I'm saying it right. So you talked about the app. You talked about how specifically you said it takes complex instructions and turns it in, or complex instructions and turns it into like a step-by-step.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
So again, it was there, just needs to be a little bit tighter so we can catch it quick.
Okay.
Then you had the transformation there. We can find something that works there, because honestly, that transformation is going to depend on who we're talking to.
Okay.
So we'll tackle that as well. I loved the next one is the authority and the relevance, right? Why choose you and why should they care? And you picked that up. You actually started with that. You've been in healthcare for 10 plus years. You have and not only have you been in healthcare, but you also were a caregiver to your grandmother, right? To your family.
Mm-hmm.
So you have that authority and you have that experience. And that is so important, especially when you're talking about, launching an app that's going to make a huge difference and make people's lives easier. My favorite, you actually had a call to action. That people will come on here and tell us what to do next, how to find them. And you absolutely did that. So you nailed that. Great job. And then, of course, your presence delivery was great. But what we have to do in terms of a quick pitch is make sure it's more concise. So we have all the pieces, but how do we summarize it so that it gets people's attention? They are able to identify either, yep, that's me, I need it, or they're able to identify at least 2 to 3 people that they really care about that could use this service.
Okay.
And then, of course, they we in your call to action, it's time to figure out, okay, how do we get there? What do we do? Which you did that. So let's start with number 1 that I want to talk to. I want to see who your hero is. Who are you talking to in terms of this pitch? Who's going to use this product?
I think that's where I have been struggling. So ultimately, I want to get this in the hands of like senior citizens, people that have multiple chronic conditions, and their caregivers. But I'm also pitching to healthcare organizations. So I think that's where the mixture kind of was in my delivery.
So is this a B2B or B2C?
B2B2C.
B to B to C?
Yeah.
Okay, so the healthcare provider will be telling them to download this app so that they can then communicate through. I see.
Yes.
So essentially, and so what you'll be doing is you'll be meeting with healthcare providers, saying, explaining to them that they need to use this app in order to give their patients a better experience.
Absolutely.
Better aftercare.
Yes.
All right. We're tracking now. We are tracking now. Okay. So while all of this is great information, a lot of the information in terms of how it makes the patient's life easier and things like that, a lot of that can be saved for how you help the healthcare provider explain the product or service, the product itself. And you had mentioned something you said when you were caring for your grandmother, you said that was a difficult time for me, right? You were
Mm.
kind of pulling on those heartstrings and things like that. Well, that is a great piece, but at the end of the day, what are healthcare providers looking for?
Okay. Ultimately,
What are they
anything
looking
that's going to improve their metrics and costs.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Or time or save time, right? So improve their metrics, save costs, save time. So that's how we want to kind of craft this pitch then. And
Okay.
correct me if I'm wrong, but
No.
is that how we want to take? Okay, so that's how
Yeah,
we're going to craft this
absolutely.
pitch. Okay.
Okay.
So our hero, our target audience is the healthcare providers. Okay.
Yes.
All right. And so the problem is still the same in that they give these orders that these prescriptions and all these things to the patient, but the patient usually it somehow gets lost in translation, and there's no good follow through.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yes. Same thing.
So let's try to explain that a little bit better, but from the eyes of the healthcare patient.
Of the patient?
I mean, of the healthcare provider. Sorry.
Of the provider. Okay.
Yeah. Let's explain the problem through the eyes of the healthcare provider.
Okay.
So go back to do you have it your pitch written down?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's go back to when you identified the problem.
Okay.
And what is that? Go ahead and just say it out loud for me.
Let's see. Hold on. Okay, so because what I've seen both professionally and personally is that patients leave appointments with instructions, referrals, medications, but no clear way to turn that into action. When that happens, people don't follow through. They miss appointments, they don't take the medications correctly, and those small issues turn into much bigger ones.
Okay. And how does that problem then affect the healthcare provider?
That's the next, that leads to the poor outcomes, avoidable hospitalizations, and significant costs across the healthcare system.
Okay, so that huge piece, let's shrink that down.
Okay.
So when start with the first part. You said they're given these prescriptions.
They're missing their appointments, their medications, they're not taking them correctly, and those small issues turn into larger ones.
Okay, so oftentimes, once a patient receives their prescription and all of their instructions, it falls through the cracks. And what does that do for you, Dr. So-and-so? Well, say the second part.
Well, it leads to poor outcomes, avoidable hospitalizations, and significant costs across the healthcare system.
Okay, poor outcomes, hospitalizations, and significantly increased costs.
The cost, yeah.
Significantly increased costs. Okay, let's say that again. So I love doing a little role play because it kind of just helps you just get into the zone here.
Let's go.
All right. For it. So let's say that part one more time. We're talking about what happens with the patient, and then what ends up happening to the healthcare provider when the patient falls through.
So the patients are missing their appointments, they're not taking their medications correctly, which leads to poor outcomes, avoidable hospitalizations, and increased healthcare system costs.
Okay.
Cost.
Okay. Now you're talking to me as the healthcare provider?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, but I can see how.
Right.
Okay.
So let's get it. I'm going to be Dr. Nicci Willis today.
Okay. And
right.
Sorry, I want to clarify more so like health systems.
Health systems.
Who we're talking to. Yeah.
Okay.
Not the individual providers.
Health systems. Well, So if you were to run into somebody, who would that be?
Like the people working at health plans or hospitals specifically, people that want to ensure that like their patients actually know what to do and their costs are staying down, their metrics are staying up,
Okay.
by
Somebody
not
in
having.
procurement,
Yeah.
somebody in procurement or purchasing.
Or yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Within
Okay.
the systems. Yeah.
Got it. So still healthcare, but they're definitely worried about their metrics and their costs, right?
Exactly.
All
Yes.
right. And you plan to book these calls, correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And so okay. All right. So let's go back to the problem then.
Okay.
And again, the point is what you wanted to do. You said a win is going to be if I can make this concise, clear and
Yeah.
concise. So let's narrow that back down again. All right. So start from the leads to poor, outcomes. Yeah. Let's start there.
Okay. It leads to poor outcomes, avoidable hospitalizations, and significant costs across the healthcare system.
Okay. All right. At the start there, add when patients get their discharge papers, though that information oftentimes falls through the cracks.
Yes.
And what happens for you healthcare providers? Well, poor outcomes, more hospitalizations, and most importantly, you know this, increased costs. Now you see how we're now having this conversation? And it's not just a presentation. What you're saying is, I know your pain. I'm here to solve it.
Yeah, exactly.
I know your pain, Mr. Hospital admin person, right? Or purchaser or procurement officer. I know the pain of rising costs. And I know it's your job to decrease those costs. I have a solution for you. But it has to be that glaringly clear, quick. Oh my gosh, you're absolutely right. They do have to come back. A good question that you could ask now that I'm thinking about this, and I know this is like, I go really fast, but a good question for you to ask is what their metrics are. Do you know the percentage of returns?
Like their readmissions? Yeah.
Readmission.
Great question. So like starting with asking them about their readmission. Okay.
There we go. Now we're flowing. Now we're flowing. Because what you're doing is you're having them honestly be able to vet themselves. Now you're like, let me ask you a question. What's the percentage of your returns or your readmissions? I'm learning all this healthcare lingo all on the spot right now, people.
I love it. And no, you're spot on.
Of your readmissions.
Yeah.
Now you're in the healthcare field, Karina. Are there other, now I would imagine that that's a significant number that they watch or that they follow.
Yeah.
Is there something that's significant in terms of something in terms of their aftercare or their discharge processing paperwork that's also can be costly as well? Maybe
Yeah.
prescription write-ups are they lost often or are they not followed or?
Yeah. So what I noticed the issue is that like one, you get that giant packet of paperwork. I don't know if you've ever seen those discharge papers after a hospital,
Yes.
but they're huge and they bring such important information.
Mhm.
And so in that information, you have like whether there's medications that you need to pick up and, they're crucial to keep you from being readmitted, or you have to follow up with a specific provider for a condition and patients are missing that. So maybe they're not setting that appointment up and they're not seeing that specific specialist. And a big assumption, and I saw this a lot with my grandma, but I've also seen it with other folks, is that there's this assumption that your primary care provider is on top of everything. They know that you were in the hospital. They know what specialist that or what the specialist is recommending. They're getting those notes from other providers.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, especially here in Las Vegas, that's not true.
Mm.
Yeah,
So
it might be better in other places, but it's not true here.
It's better if the patient has that seamless information for themselves. That can also help the healthcare provider or with their care as well.
Yes, definitely. That's the piece that, at least from my perspective, that's missing, is the patient's accountability, their own knowledge, that, their ability to advocate for themselves.
And okay, this is good, because how then does that help the healthcare provider?
Well, then that's keeping them accountable. They're following up. They're taking their medications. They're scheduling those follow-up appointments, and they're ultimately reducing costs
and time.
And time, yes.
And time.
Yeah.
So you had said a lot in your pitch. You pulled on a lot of the heartstrings. You did say, yeah, there's significant costs, but that's where we got to focus on. That's where we got to really nail it down.
Okay.
Not even just you talked a lot about the frustration from the patients and the caregiver side. But if your target audience is actually this healthcare system, cost and time and metrics.
Yeah.
Those metrics that are important to them. So imagine then having that patient that you've worked with, you saw them months ago, and they now have an app that you can easily look at and not have to waste time.
No guesswork. Yep.
Yeah, guessing and going back and re-asking questions. You're saving time.
And you're also retesting.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. So now we're painting that picture for them.
Okay.
So what I'd love to try then is that piece that we've just kind of unlocked and uncovered.
Okay.
So we talked about asking them what their metrics are. Yes. And we can also really hone in on what their pain points are, which are obviously cost, time, metrics. So how then can we take that and help paint the picture of the problem for real?
So we're starting with asking them what their rates are. They give us a response on, like, let's say they have, 50% readmissions. And then I'm talking to them about the pain points from their patient's perspective of, like, that's the piece that's missing. They're not understanding the discharge paperwork. They're not following through on the instructions from the discharge. And therefore, they're not, they're costing you and your system and your staff time. They're costing you money, and they're driving down your metrics from if you work or if you.
No, you were good right there. And they're driving down your metrics. Boom. That's it.
Okay.
That's great. All right, we're getting comments. I'm loving these. Let's see. Somebody say you might consider whether or not healthcare providers are losing money or making money from poor outcomes. Yes, that's exactly what we were doing here. What about insurance companies? Do they make money or lose money? Question, you don't work directly. This would not work directly with insurance companies, would it?
It could. Yes.
It could.
Yeah.
Well, guys, that would just have to be another session. Goodness gracious, we only have 30 minutes, good people. All right. But interesting. But you see how even the difference with honing in on who you are actually talking to.
Yes.
And then helping them see that problem and then paint that picture as a solution.
I see.
So now the solution is, well, we've got this AI powered app. It goes on their phone, or whose phone does it go on? Their phone?
On the patient's phone.
Okay, great.
And their caregiver.
And their caregiver. Awesome. Right? And it takes all of your complex instructions, makes it step by step, so they don't miss a beat and you don't waste time and money and metrics.
Yes.
So you hear that? Here's my solution, so that. Boom. So let's practice that little piece there, the solution and the transformation. Okay. All right. And then, again, we're talking to the healthcare system. The healthcare system. All right. Okay. Oh, somebody said, wait a minute. Someone said, I work in healthcare as well and see how this can be as a beneficial app. Great idea. Valerie Williams, 6720. All right. Are you ready?
Okay, let's give it a try. Yeah.
Okay. Go for it.
Okay. So, hi, how are you doing? Would definitely love to know more about your readmission rates, if you don't mind sharing, what your hospital readmission rates are at this time.
I'm going to say 50% because I'm not in healthcare, and I think that would probably be a really bad number.
Okay. Yeah, no, and that's something that we're kind of hearing across the board. So, we, from taking a look at your, getting all scrambled.
It's okay. We breathe. Okay. And we reset. And
all right.
When we start again, I'd love to, I know we're practicing. We're only doing this in 30 minutes, but give me this is the presence and the delivery part. Give me a curiosity face. I am curious. What are your metrics on readmission rates here in this hospital or this healthcare system?
Okay.
I'm curious, because you want them to feel, listen, I really want to hear what you have to say. Right. Okay. And then you can go in. All right, here we go. And action.
Okay. Hi, my name is Karina Bocker. I'm actually here because I'm really curious. What are your readmission rates at this hospital?
Right now they're at 50%.
Oof. Okay. What if I told you that we have a solution to help drive down your readmission rates and improve your costs and metrics overall?
Tell me more.
So from my perspective, and I've worked with health plans and provider on the operations side, and my partner's a retired physician, we've seen that patients oftentimes don't know what to do post-discharge. Once they receive that thick packet of paperwork, they're not sure how to follow up. So we've actually been building an AI healthcare app that helps to take that complex medical jargon and turn those instructions. Okay.
That's there. Okay, we were right there where let's go back to what happens with the patient.
Okay.
And they don't follow through. Remember, we're talking to the healthcare system. So why is that important to them?
Because it leads to readmissions and increased costs.
Yes. So we got to hear that.
Okay.
Because we know they don't follow through. But why is it important to us? Well, because in actuality, we lose money, we waste time, and it actually hurts our metrics even more. That's what I got to hear. So let's go back to, we've seen that when patients are discharged, this is what happens. Go ahead.
Okay. So when patients are discharged, they're not following through on their instructions. It's really complex, a lot of jargon, and just a lot of information. And ultimately, with them not following through, that's leading to increased readmissions and increased costs for your hospital. Continue.
Yep.
So we've been building, so we have a solution for this. We've been building an AI-powered healthcare companion that takes that complex information and turns it into simple step-by-step actions for patients. ultimately leading to lower readmission rates and lower costs for your hospital. Yeah.
How did that feel?
It felt good. Yeah.
Look at my timer. Go. Oh my God, it's been 30 minutes.
We're over.
What? Come on, good people. That was really good. How did you feel?
Good. Everything you said made sense. I think, I've been thinking about it from such a broad angle, like who are the target patients, who's going to ultimately pay for this, and talking to them all at once. So you really helped me to hone in on who my target audience is at one point in time.
Yeah. And, helping them see that problem from that perspective, painting that picture for them. You're losing money. You're wasting time. Time is money, right? We have a solution for that. Because now they want to lean in because they know this pain point. They've been in all of these meetings and they're always looking for solutions to help save time, money, and improve metrics. So that is when they can tune their ear in. And you said it. One of the things I would probably just say be open to considering. You said an AI healthcare companion. You could call it an app just to make it quicker.
Okay.
Because they'll know that anyway. And then the call to action for this particular hero, what do you want it to be?
Oh.
Because I know you're right now, the call to action is just to go to your website to sign up and once it's released, but what do you want it for this?
For them in particular, I would like for them to review the data that we have and then turn around and have a trial subscription or try it with a subset of their patients. So then we can continue to expand.
Okay, got it. All right. And so does that require, so basically you want them to see additional data?
Yes.
Can I send you this packet or can I send you this? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. I want them to see how the data would benefit them and then turn that around to actual subscriptions.
Okay. So a pilot, a trial. A trial for subscription. Got it. Okay. That's a great call to action as well.
Okay.
That's a great call to action. Unfortunately, we ran out of time because I could help you craft that into something that was awesome. But we have run out of time for today, Karina. Okay. Now, I always have to ask every guest, how did you feel before coming on?
Nervous.
Okay. And how do you feel now after you've completed Pitch Perfect Live?
A lot better, a lot more clear, and differentiating who my target audience is anytime that I'm delivering any kind of pitch. So thank you.
You are so welcome. I think this app is incredible. Like one of our viewers was saying, I think it's fantastic. Oh, somebody has said, it sounds like a great solution for hospitals. Another one is great work. You got the hearts and the 100s. We love to see it. Thank you guys so much. Our audience is always fantastic. Remember, guys, you can watch this replay. But before I give you all that information, I always like to allow our guests to tell everybody where you can find them, how they can reach you, all the things. So you go ahead, Karina, take it.
Thank you. We're in the process of finalizing the app, so it should be available in the very near future. We are welcoming folks to sign up for early access. So please visit either our Instagram page at UME, spelled out letters, Health app. And on there you can find the link to sign up for early access, as well as the link to our website, which is umehealthapp.com.
Perfect. And you guys know that I will have all of that information in the description in this video. It will be up tomorrow. Karina, thank you so much for joining us. We are wishing you all the best on this app. It sounds fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. You'll get a link
I appreciate it.
as well. Take care, Karina. Thank you so much.
Bye. Thank you so much.
Bye. Well, that was fun. Oh my goodness. Listen, do me a favor. Tell me which part was your favorite. Tell me what you got out of this episode. I would love to hear it. Also, let me know what you think about this new format. I love getting feedback from you guys because listen, we are working to make this experience better. All right. If you want to be in the know and if you want to be in the crew, in the group, you have to join the green room. So head over to NicciWillis.com. You can find the green room there. You can also, if you want to be in the hot seat, go to Nicci Willis, NicciWillis.com. Click on Pitch Perfect Live, fill out the application, and you just might be next. All right, guys, have a wonderful week. I will see you next Tuesday with another business leader or entrepreneur. It just might be you. We never know. But until then, have a wonderful week, and I'll see you soon.